Hi, welcome to Fanboy and Critic. This is our sub playlist of Game of Thrones Season 7. Normally we go see new movies on theaters, but since Game of Thrones is on, and that's almost better than any movie in the world, we're going to give you our review of Episode 6, Beyond the Wall. Alright, this week, you've already said this is your favorite episode ever.
Of this season.
This is actually my least favorite of the season.
Okay.
We start off, we're just like with the Expendables north of the wall. They're having like their little talkie-talkie. Everybody's sort of catching up on how they've kind of wronged everybody. Yeah. And like basically the biggest thing that we get out of this is Jon trying to give his Valyrian steel sword to Jorah. Which is like Jon's being honorable and stupid once again.
Yeah.
Like, this is the only thing that will kill White Walkers, and he's like, "Here, you take it, stranger."
True, I thought that was really dumb of him, but he did the right thing. But his face was priceless when he rejected the offer.
When Jorah gave it back, his face was just like, "Oh, thank God,"
because this is the only sword that can kill him.
Do you think Jorah thought that he was going to die? Because he was like, "Give this will serve you well. And your children," and he was basically like, "I'm gonna die. Like you live your life."
Yeah. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Well, I guess he cheated death so much. Maybe, yeah. He definitely did think he was gonna die this episode. But I think it was just more like, he was a dishonor to his family. Until now, he still feels like he didn't deserve that sword.
Then really the only other big things that happened was like Arya and Sansa kind of getting into it. What do you think? What do you think about Arya's attitude towards Sansa and how Sansa's reacting? Like basically, she went to Littlefinger and was like, "I don't know what she's up with," but Littlefinger's like, "Use Brienne," which I still don't understand what his play is. I don't even have a theory on what his play is with Brienne.
I don't really understand why Sansa's. I mean, I understand why she has her guard up because of the note.
Yeah,
but deep down inside, she knows she didn't do nothing wrong, and I don't know. I don't get the deal. Like, why is she so scared of?
Well, she didn't do anything wrong, but maybe she still feels guilty because she contributed to her father's death in a way. Like maybe Arya's just hitting the little soft spots where she's like, "Man, I do feel guilty that I stayed with the Lannisters and didn't support my dad," but at the same time, like she was being coerced.
Well, I guess Arya did bring that note to her and basically kind of blamed her, and now it does threaten her army for being loyal to her, and I guess that's what got her really threatened by it, and that's why they're bumping heads now.
Yeah.
But I just feel like as a family, as her sister, I feel like there's different ways to go about it.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think Arya's playing to what she thinks Littlefinger is expecting. Okay. I think she's being more upset about it than she actually is, and like pushing some things. Because like the first scene where she did it was out in the open, and I think she kind of assumed that it would get back to Littlefinger. And then the very last scene where she gives Sansa the dagger and tells her everything, it's basically like Batman taking off his mask and being like, "All right, I trust you with my identity." Like she basically brought it back in private. I think Arya's trying to play Littlefinger a little bit, and in my theory, she might already be Littlefinger because the conversation Littlefinger had with Sansa was very weird. It was like, "What do you think your sister's thinking?" It wasn't like the usual stuff. It was like, "What is Arya about? Like, how do you feel about Arya? Do you think Brienne will kill Arya to save you?" Like, just things like that. And it didn't seem very Littlefinger-y to me.
It would definitely show Arya killing Littlefinger. That's just something.
Maybe it'll be like a big reveal. But it's going to be a big reveal, or it's going to be like us seeing Littlefinger get killed. That's really like two small things. Now let's go on to the big battle. Well, actually, let's talk about the bear first. Like they fight the white polar bear. You know, the thing I just kept thinking about in this scene is like they talk about how they can't do the direwolves right, and how like they can't do those effects. And it's just like, you just had a fight with a polar bear that's half zombie and on fire. Like, you can't do large wolves.
Because the polar bear was so good.
The polar bear was really good, and it was a lot more complicated than doing a large wolf. and they're just like, we can't do the direwolves. It's just it won't be right.
I mean, that scene was awesome. I loved it. How it came from like a far image of a bear, this guy running back, and all of a sudden he gets sideswiped and bitten by another one.
I do like the bear fight a lot, especially when it was on fire and the hound. Again, the hound's just like, I'm not touching it. I can't do it.
His life's on the line, and this guy can't get his balls together.
No, he can't. He absolutely can't. You're really imprinted from when you're a child, like this shit that harmed you. But my biggest thing is like they didn't highlight that they had brought wildlings with them, like wildling helpers. So like when people kept dying, I was like, who was that? What? Who just died?
Yeah, I was kind of confused about that too.
And like it kind of because we're so focused on these main characters being there, you're just like, okay, it's the 7 of them, and then you realize like, oh, just random red shirts are getting killed off. They totally shied away from killing their main characters.
And there was a lot of chances in this episode, definitely.
A lot of things that should have happened, for sure.
They didn't happen.
Okay, so the final battle. We're out in the middle of the ice. First of all, how stupid is this plane?
It's stupid. I mean,
It's
from the beginning.
so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, they only travel in hordes, so you're gonna steal one? But they did find out some really great information that if you get the White Walkers out of the way, all the other ones just sort of pop.
Yeah, I thought that was that's going to be a really big deal in this battle.
It could be.
But the plan was definitely stupid from the get-go.
And then they decided to run out in the middle of the ice, which made no sense. See, it makes sense when you think about the writers. They're like, we want to push this crazy scene at the end.
Yeah.
And so we're going to make our characters do stupid things. Which is terrible writing, in my opinion. I think David and Dan have been great writers. This was a terribly written episode. Sorry. I think you guys are great, but, not this time.
Kind of dumb, like you said. I mean, I don't understand why all these White Walkers decide to surround them and not just bum rush them. Like, who cares if the ice is going to break? You got 1 million people to walk over and just get to them. That was really dumb how they just stopped and surrounded
But
them.
they're just 7 guys though. Like they have a whole war to fight.
Yeah.
They don't know that like killing these 7 guys is going to end the war. So they're just sacrificing hundreds and thousands of bodies
True.
to get 7 dudes. And they have all the time in the world to wait it out.
But one of my favorite parts in the scene was when the Hound threw the rock.
Oh yeah.
And what really started the scene, it was hilarious. Like that is something he would do.
That was the Hound. That
was so on point, and it totally bit him in the ass.
I mean, what do you think about this time and space issue they have? They're like, hey, Gendry, I know we've been walking for like a week now, but run back to the wall and send a raven real quick, and he gets there in like half an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just insane. Like the distance and time thing that they have going on in the show. It's been problematic in the past, and this episode they were just like, it does, like everything's like 5 minutes apart now.
When for the past like 6 seasons they've been saying like winter's coming, and it took that long. I don't care.
You don't care?
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I mean, that was probably the dumbest thing in this episode. How they could just have a run to the wall, send a raven out. Oh,
yeah.
Daenerys, you got it. You said
and Dragonstone, hundreds and hundreds of miles away. Like the raven is going to take a while to get there. You can say, oh, dragons are magically fast and they can get back really quick, but the raven is a regular raven.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the whole time thing is just really out of whack.
You just have to, I guess, just forget about it. Which once the action starts happening, I'm just like, okay, forget it. But when you think back on the episode, you're like, oh, that was really ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they just wrote it for the Deus Ex Machina of Dany flying in and like flaming up all these whites. Whites.
Was the best part of it. But not the best part because I had already, I knew what was coming. I can't believe it really happened though. It's insane. What made her bring all 3 dragons this one time? She's never done that. Besides, I can't even think back.
No. She hadn't. She didn't even do it at the Field of Fire. She just brought Drogon.
Yeah. See, that's one thing I don't understand. I mean, yeah, I guess the writers did mess up a lot in this episode because that was way out of the ordinary. Like, let me bring my my 3 precious gems.
But I think they're pushing, like, she loves Jon now. Like, they did a lot of that.
Yeah.
But you can kind of tell that she has feelings for him now. Mm-hmm. And then she was just like, I'm not taking any chances. I'm bringing everything I got.
Yeah.
I'm going to save Jon, and I'm going to get the white back. Like, mostly save Jon, and then, like 5%, like, save Jorah. Well, we only lost Thoros of Myr and a bunch of wildling red shirts.
Yeah.
Do you think we should have... I personally think we should have lost at least half of their Expendables crew. And there was like hundreds of thousands of whites fighting them, and they didn't really they didn't lose anybody in that final battle.
Not at all. Not even the person that should have died, that I thought died, was about to cry, Jon Snow.
Jon should have died like 10 times. I think... I mean, he's got plot armor by this point, but like the thing that I loved about Game of Thrones was that nobody had plot armor, and now they've shied away from killing pretty much anybody. Even Tormund got saved last minute, and I was like, oh man, he's gonna die.
Yeah, I kept, even when this battle started, I'm like, I hope he doesn't die. And he'd look over to me like, oh, I'm like, no, he's gonna die. And it's so predictable, because it's Game of Thrones, you expect him to die, and they saved him.
I know, that's what I loved about Game of Thrones though, like, they're not afraid to kill off main characters if it feels right and earned. And it felt so earned for them to die and so unearned for them to be saved last minute by something random. Like Benjen Stark coming out of nowhere and coming through a horde of 10,000 whites on a horse to save Jon.
The more and more we actually talk about this episode, there are a lot of dumb stuff that happened.
It's the Deus Ex Machina of Dany showing up kind of like I mean, that was at least a little bit like, okay, they put a lot into send a raven, get her, bring her here, save us.
Yeah.
But Benjen was out of nowhere.
Yeah. And it's funny because the minute I saw that figure coming in with the horse, I immediately knew, I'm like, this is the only person they're going to bring in is the uncle.
The whole thing was really unearned. And then Benjen... very easily, like, the horse could outrun a bunch of rambling whites. And he's just like, there's no time. And then, of course, he runs off and he's like, I'm just going to die here. I think
he doesn't want to save Jon Snow again. So he's like, screw it, you're on your own now, kid.
I think honestly, it just felt more like the writers were just like, we need one big death. We'll kill Benjen. The guy who's been in 3 episodes.
Oh, wow.
The entire show. Jon actually bends the knee with Dany. And then... she becomes really uninterested.
You made such a good point there when I'm like,
she's only into dudes that don't want to serve her. Like Dario was like, yeah, forget you. I don't really want, I'm like, I'm not your servant, whatever. And she's like, yes, must have. Khal Drogo obviously dominated her. But like Jorah's like, I pledge to serve you forever. She's like, okay, good job. And then as soon as Jon bends the knee, she's like, okay, well, I'm not into it anymore.
What did you think about Jon Snow not dying?
I thought both times, I mean, every time in this episode, it was Deus Ex Machina. It was out of nowhere. It was obviously the writer's hand in it saying, he's not going to die, he's too important. But it was totally what should happen. Like, not saying that this fantasy world is realistic, but like in a realistic, if we buy into whites and all the fantasy that's happening in that situation, he dies. Most of them die in that situation.
He definitely should have died.
And
if that was anybody else,
it's only the writer's like influencing hand, and it's really obvious.
What I really liked was when you were messing with me. When you were like, he's not gonna die, he's gonna become a lieutenant. When you said that, I was like, oh man, he's gonna become a White Walker, and like,
wouldn't that be awesome if? Because just like Benjen got turned like half white.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome if they like killed Jon and then brought him back as like a lieutenant, but he was still like had part of himself to like turn on them in the end?
That would have been a good.
Yeah. And he held onto his Valyrian steel sword, and like at the right moment, he was just like, by the way. But it kills him too because they brought him up, and he crumbles as well.
That would have been a cool prediction, but it didn't happen.
Hire me, HBO. I write things. They're not watching. They're not a subscriber. Moving on to predictions for the finale of this season. how do you think they top this? Or is it going to be another, like, wrap up the season sort of episode?
The predictions for next week, I mean, I'm kind of happy that they're finally meeting.
Everybody. Cersei, Jaime. Yeah. I mean, this is based on the preview that they released.
So they're finally be meeting, and I still feel like Cersei is just going to be a total and just be like, oh, it's a White Walker, so what? Yeah, it's a White Walker, so what? I feel like she's still going to be so big-headed and still wants to continue this dumb war.
In the past, they've done like sort of winding down episodes for their finale. I don't think they're going to do that. They got 7 episodes. I think Cersei's got some crazy shit planned. My prediction is that Tyrion is going to die. Tyrion's going to die.
Damn, I can totally see that happening.
And Jorem.
There hasn't been any... Jorem's expendable, so it doesn't really matter if it happens. But I can definitely see that happening. There has not been any major deaths.
No.
And Tyrion is such a loved, character. They might just hit us with a low blow.
But I think Brienne is going to teleport there. Even though Sansa's like, it's a long trip, you better get started. And it's like, at this point, who cares? Like, I mean, I care because it defies logic.
Yeah.
But they're just going to teleport Brienne there. And I think her and Jaime are going to talk, and she's going to be like, your sister's crazy. Like, whatever she does in the dragon pit, she's going to like, Cersei's crazy, and Jaime's going to kill Cersei. I think Cersei's going to end up killing Tyrion with whatever trap plot that she has.
Whoa.
And then Jaime's going to be like, well, you're carrying my kid, but kill.
That's what I wanted. Oh, I totally forgot about. That's what I kind of wanted to mention about last week's episode.
Okay, now you think. The other single prediction that I'll give, I don't think I have anything beyond this. I think either Arya's going to kill Littlefinger. I think she's been playing with him. I think she's smart enough to realize of what Littlefinger's up to and sort of play his game. I think she's either going to kill Littlefinger in front of us, or she's going to reveal that she killed him and has been pretending to be him just this last episode, because obviously she couldn't pretend to be him while she was following him to get the letter, but after that.
All right.
Those are my only 2 predictions. Just go nuts, man. Because if you're right, you look like a freaking mastermind.
I can't even think of it.
If you're wrong, you're just like, well, that was crazy anyways.
I think Euron's going to have a big play in this episode because he hasn't been around at all these past few. And I think he's going to play a big part in her plan. I think he might even have a dragon hostage or something like that while Daenerys is not watching.
Okay.
I think the White Walkers are going to show up one more time. I feel like the main White Walker doesn't even have a name.
The Night's King, yeah, he has a name. He's the Night's King.
So I think the Night's King is going to be blowing crap up in this meeting with the new ice dragon that they have.
Think he gets down there with the ice dragon?
Yeah, and I think he'll actually take out another dragon, and there will be one dragon left.
That is a crazy prediction.
And that's how Tyrion's going to die, and Jaime's going to die.
I disagree with your prediction, but I appreciate that you're trying.
That's what's going to happen, man. Night's King with the ice dragon kills another dragon.
I don't even think they're going to come back until mid-season 8. I don't think so.
We'll see you next week.
All right, fanboys and critics, thanks for watching episode 6. Can you believe that next week is the finale? That's insane. We need 10 episodes.
This went by so fast.
Yeah, we need 10 episodes. But next week, they don't even have a title for the finale out. It's just the finale right now. But anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out our Patreon, check out our other videos.
And we'll see you for the next episode of Fanboy and Critic, where we'll be watching
Birth of the Dragon.